Smashing. When I was thinking about obviously this week, and actually the first time that I came and hung out with you, this verse just sprang to mind. Jesus, when he came to the region of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, "Who do the people say the Son of Man is?" They replied, "Some say John the Baptist, others say Elijah, and still others Jeremiah or one of the prophets." "But what about you?" he asked. "Who do you say that I am?" Simon Peter answered, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." I just want to talk to you just to say, who do you say that he is? We can all say that we know Jesus. Most of you confirm that with our hearts, with the way we live our lives, with what we speak about. But actually, there's such a call upon our lives, and there's such a noise around us, in and through us, that quite often distracts from who Jesus actually is. There's very much a thing in our lives where we are drawn away from who Jesus is into the world's view of who Jesus is. And then we lose sight of it. And then all of a sudden we go, "Where are you, God? Why have you left me?" Now we know that he never leaves us or forsakes us. So who do you say that he is? Much like those being baptised today, I spent 33 years of my life looking in completely the wrong direction. I was such a broken piece of work that if people came to talk to me about Jesus, I'd likely spark you out. I was so angry, so volatile, so damaged. And yet when God sent these people, lovely people, I couldn't hack it. My old man used to say to me, if it's too good to be true, and they used to tell me about this Jesus, this Messiah, the lover of my soul. It's the only one that could bring me peace in the chaos that was burning within. But that didn't make sense. Other things made sense. Other dark avenues made more sense. But the funny thing is when you go down the dark paths, when you get to the end of it, you suddenly realise there's nothing there for you anyway. So instead of turning around like a sensible person, you go to the next dark path and it gets darker and darker and darker. And then it comes a point where you think, well, what's life all about, and is it really worth it? And I've had those mad moments on my motorbike when I've opened that accelerator up and I'm going past 100 miles an hour thinking, well, if a wall, it wouldn't matter, would it really? It'll be quick. And then I met him. And then I met him. Guy Dawes' living room. 20th of October 2003, 9:30 at night. I met him. And suddenly, everything made sense and nothing made sense. Suddenly I was feeling things I hadn't felt in such a long time. A beautiful whisper that you have purpose and value. I paid a price for you. And actually I'm going to keep going until you accept it. Who is Christ to you? Who is the Messiah? Is he the King of your life? Because if he's not, you need to readjust your focus. I've never read the Bible. I got confirmed because my auntie told me how to when I was 12, and they gave me a Bible. And I opened it up in Genesis, read about the first page, and thought, well, that's way too hard, and then chucked it under the bed. And I remember going home to my wife, and she'd been praying for me all the time. Pray for her, she needs it. She has to live with me 24/7. I remember going home, coming through this door, just absolutely mind blown. She's going, what's happened? I go, I don't know, I can't even begin to explain it. But I think God's just spoke to me. And then Sarah starts talking about it, and I start quoting Bible to her. Quoting all manner of stuff. She said, how do you know that? I go, I don't know, I just know it. I was looking after 17 blokes on a building site. I was the foreman. And I remember walking in that cabin the next morning like I'd won the lottery. And they're like, what's happened to you? I go, I can't even put my finger on it. And I said, listen, I'll give my life to Jesus. If anybody's got a problem, why don't we step outside and we can have a conversation about it? They're like, no, I think you're okay, well. But in that instant, everything changed. All those dark things that the devil had hooked into my life suddenly just dissipated. They had no want of me anymore. Language, I used to swear like a trooper. Can you imagine working on a building site? Suddenly it was please and thank you, and could you go and do this? And they're like, He's the one that transforms. And He's brought us on this crazy journey, hasn't He? And the reason He's brought us on this crazy journey is so we can declare that He is the Messiah, the lover of your life, the very air that we breathe, the very core of our being. If that's not you today, please have a word. Don't go out of this place not knowing who He is. Please. I've spent far too much time down that road. The funny thing is I've worked in schools, which is a real honour. I've worked in a high school. And they always come up with the most awkward questions. And this one lad said to me, he said, Wayne, I said, yeah. He said, if heaven's real. And I went, are you saying that heaven's real? He said, no, I'm just saying, if it was real, if it was, I'm going, okay, if it is real, yeah. What if it isn't? Is it real or is it not? What you're asking me? And he's like, well, what if it isn't real? And I said, okay. Well, all the evidence pointed that it is, because Jesus came. I said, but if it isn't real, then I've lived a really good life, helping others, being the best I possibly can be, for the sake of those around me. But if it is real, and I know it's real, I've won already, so there you go. It's a win-win, isn't it? Know Him as your Messiah. Know Him as your Lord, the transformer of who you are. You're not overlooked. You're not forgotten. He loves you with an everlasting love.